Well, my name is Jason Jones. I'm one of the Red Cross volunteer instructors here for the state of Hawaii. Been with Red Cross as a lifeguard and certified in CPR, AED, first aid since about 2000, so almost 14 years. And then a volunteer instructor since about 2004, so as an instructor for about 10 years. I became a volunteer instructor because I value the mission and value that Red Cross holds. I have a number of friends and individuals that I'm aware of and know of who have benefited from the Red Cross mission either through education training or disaster relief services. So as a way to give back, I felt it'd be good to become a volunteer instructor. It always feels good to be able to enable somebody else with the tools and training to respond. What you don't want is somebody to be faced with an emergency and not know what to do. So it feels good to be able to help somebody else get the knowledge and the skills and comfort level to be able to help somebody else. In my opinion, there's a big difference between as a student learning CPR and then as an instructor teaching CPR. As a student, it's really up to you to gain further information, further practice, further knowledge. It's up to you. As an instructor, each time you teach a course or teach a student, you always learn a little bit more, a little bit extra. So as a teacher, you never stop learning. The way I grew up, my philosophy has always been find a need and fill it. So no matter where you are, what region, local, national, international, there's always going to be a need for volunteers. And for me and my specialty and background in instructing, I can give back to my community, to my local region by becoming a volunteer CPR instructor. It's often viewed as like group mentality. If you're stuck in an emergency situation, and there's a large group behind the emergency, somebody else is better trained, somebody else has a better skill set, somebody else has more equipment. And often what happens is nobody responds. I can see that happening with instructors as well. Oh, somebody else has more experience teaching, somebody else has more time, when really we all, no matter our experience level or skill set, can volunteer and contribute any little bit. In my experience, I think a lot of it's self-confidence, and the only way to overcome that is to get out there and get experience teaching. You don't have to be a teacher on your own or instruct on your own. We highly advocate co-teaching classes to where if you have certain strong skill sets or certain areas that you're really good at, you can teach those segments and you can proctor those skill sessions and then have your co-instructor do the other ones that maybe you're not most comfortable with. When you're faced in an emergency situation, instinct takes over and your training will take over. That's why it's really important to train, prepare, and be prepared so you can respond. That's a Red Cross mantra. Train, prepare so you can respond. Personally, for me, I have to deal with emergency situations in the hospital almost on a daily basis, having to respond for CPR situations or whichever. But when I'm faced in a community situation, it's very emotional because you know the person firsthand, very intimately. And like my other students, you revert back to your instinct and your first training situation. You kind of lose yourself in the emergency. So as long as you're trained and as long as you prepare yourself, you know you're going to respond appropriately. As you know, Red Cross is largely guided by volunteers for disaster relief, volunteers for CPR instruction. And as a volunteer in your community, you're helping make your community stronger and better. And being here in Hawaii is very unique that we're kind of isolated from other agencies in the country. So it's very important. I urge you to become a volunteer instructor to help your community, strengthen your community, make it a safer community, so you can help individuals train, help prepare them for any emergency situation that they may be faced with, whether it's on the beach, at home, in the classroom setting, or in the workplace.